Hey, everybody, welcome. This is Stan and Leslie, and we are here to introduce you to Google Classroom. So before we get started, I'd like Stan to introduce himself, and I'll jump in after he does.
Sure. My name's Stan Holt. I am, let's see, in my 8th year of beekeeping, and I've been a member of the Durham County Beekeepers Association since I attended bee school, I guess, 8 years ago. And I'm currently the treasurer, and I'm also part of the team that's going to be here teaching, instructing at bee school.
And you're
anything else I need to add, Leslie?
You're a journeyman beekeeper. Can you explain what that is?
Sure. So in the North Carolina State Beekeepers Association, which is the statewide association, like we're a county association, the statewide association has a master beekeeper program, and there are levels. There's the certification level, there's the journeyman level, and then there's the master beekeeper level. And so I've completed my certification and I'm a journeyman, and I'm like thinking, Leslie, that this might be the summer that I do my set for my master's. So we'll see.
You got it. You got it.
Well, I'm less worried about the exam and more about all the practical steps. So
that's a big job to tackle.
So how about you?
Yeah.
You've been keeping bees.
This will be the beginning of our 4th season. And I am also a certified beekeeper. And I'm a member of the DCBA board. And I'm part of the management team at our club apiary, which is the picture behind me. It's a teaching apiary. It's a place where people can get hands-on experience. It's also where we do our testing for the certification level. And yeah, I've learned so much at the apiary, and I have enjoyed being on the board, and excited about being on the team that teaches bee school. And I think there's about 10 of us. Does that sound right?
Yeah, pretty close.
So there's a committee of 10 people who have volunteered to participate in instruction. So each week you're going to see different faces in the content. And then we'll pop in and out with Zoom and get to know you in the breakout rooms. So let's talk a little bit about Google Classroom. And we're going to start by having Stan share his screen so that we can see what this looks like. And we'll talk about it as we go.
I'm going to pop out of this. So this is you'll see my regular Google account, right? And each of us, that's what you'll have to have a Google account, right?
Say, Stan, can you stop and turn on your video for us? Thank you. That we want to see.
All right. So anyhow, so once you will get a class invite with a class code that should be a direct link to the first time you log into your classroom and set the classroom up for yourself. Once you have that link, it really looks like this process. So you go up here to the I learned, Leslie taught me this, it's a waffle, these 9 dots, right? And in the 9 dots you have all your Google applications. And if you scroll down, at least in mine, you find the Google Classroom icon. And again, Leslie we were playing with this a while ago. You can actually move this up to where it's higher.
And Stan, we're not seeing you do that. I'm not sure what happened. Like, I don't see your cursor moving or opening up the waffle or.
Oh, okay. Okay, can you see my screen now?
Yep, there it goes. Okay, sorry about that. Thank you. Yeah.
Oh, I must have hit the pause button. Sorry about that, folks. But
That's
we'll
okay.
just redo that all again. So you go up here on the up here on the right hand side with all the 9 dots, the waffle. You click on that, all your Google applications, right? Your YouTube, your Gmail, and then there's the icon for Classroom, and you can move that up and around in your system. You can move it up higher up if you're there. And once you have already been in to the Google Classroom and set it up, you just click on that and you go to the classroom, and you will see you'll see one class. This is for me, this is the second year we've used Google Classroom. So one of these is 2021, and then you should see 2022. And once you do that, you click on that and you go into the classroom space. Leslie, is there anything else that we talked to about getting there?
That's how you get there. You can also go if you want to go well, never mind. I'm not going to say that. If you ever need to know the class code, you want to point them to that class code. Yeah.
It's down here. I think my cursor.
Yep, we're good. Yep.
It's that K2BUWYY. So in case you need that, you might want to write that down. But that's the class code.
It's unique for this particular classroom.
And because we're actually also using Google Meet, right? So again, that'll be over here on the right-hand side. So you'll be able to use Google Meet.
Mm-hmm.
And the link will have, I think the link will have our class code in it.
Okay.
Because it'll be, the Meet will be connected to that.
Okay. Oh, I wanted to point out that Chrome is the best browser to use with the Google Suite products. So I would recommend that. There are less glitches, I think, if we use Chrome. So if you're not able to do any of this, if you're not able to find it for whatever reason, it might be because of the browser.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tabs up at the top.
Yeah.
Right? Is that next, Leslie?
That is.
So we'll start with the easy one, which is people. Do you want to talk about the people tab?
Right. So under the people tab will be listed all of the instructors with their contact information. So if you hover over those 3 dots by their name, it'll have their email address. And that's how you would contact an individual instructor if you wanted to follow up on a conversation you had more questions about particular thing that's going on with you, or whatever you want to do, you can contact us that way. And then the students will be listed below as they are admitted to the classroom. And right now there aren't any students in there, but there will be before we start in January. And that also is a place where you can contact your fellow students. One of the things that we are hoping will happen with B School is that we're going to be developing a strong and healthy community of beekeepers who support one another. And so as you're meeting people in breakout rooms, as you're watching the content, you're going to identify like-minded people or people that you're interested in getting to know more, and they might become your bee buddy. And so you want to be able to have a way to connect with them outside of class. And so this would be one of the places where you could contact people individually and hopefully establish a strong network of beekeepers.
So then the next one is classwork.
Right. This is where all of the topics are going to be loaded up. You can see we have on the very left-hand side, we have resources for beekeepers, introduction, all of those, that will be the content that you will review and look at before we get together on Tuesday evenings. That's where we're going to have the videos, any content like websites or resources, books. We're going to put all of that out there in those topics. And if it's not assigned a topic, then it's in a general account, it will be at the very top of the list.
So the other thing that to know is that we will drop or make live the module. So we have B-School on Tuesday night, and then the module for the next Tuesday night will be dropped Wednesday, will be opened Wednesday morning. We've got all you can see all the modules here just because I have access to all of them. But you as students, we're just going to drop them as you need them.
Right. And they're going to be there for as long as Google keeps us alive. So they're never going to go away. So you can go back later, even after B-School ends, and watch videos or look at any content that we have up there. So it's going to be a very healthy, robust resource for you to go back to and look at later on. Because sometimes you'll hear something, at least this is my experience, I'll learn something in the classroom, but I don't have any context for it. And so it's sort of just nebulous. It's not understood. So when I get that information in the context, so like at the apiary or in a discussion with another beekeeper, then the content starts to make sense. So you want to go back and review that information when you have that larger context to put that into. So that's a wonderful feature that we have here, that you can go back and look at whatever you need to as you are learning and growing in your beekeeping.
So the other thing is that each of these topics will have a video that is done by one of the instructors, and then what I call curated material, right? So it's other material that, so like if I've spent some time kind of slogging through some of the nutrition videos or the resources that are out there, then it's also a way to, you don't have to slog through it because I, as the instructor, have already done some of that work. So you'll have access into some of the, what I would call curated lists of the person that's kind of taken that topic on.
Right. Right. And a lot like this example that Stan has up here about nutrition, we might not talk about it in great detail, but we'll point you to it. And so later on, when you're thinking about if you're going to plant a tree, what would be a good tree to plant? This would be the place to go back and find that detailed information.
Okay, I think that's it for classwork. Let's do stream.
Stream. So we see the stream. That's the first thing we see when we sign into the classroom. And basically, this is going to be the place where we make announcements, where people can have a conversation. But this conversation on the stream is for everybody in the class. It's not specific. So anything you post on the stream is open for everybody that's associated with this Google Classroom. And going back to that discussion about developing a healthy beekeeping community, we think that the stream is a good place for us to do that. Do you have any ideas about how that would look like, what that would look like, Stan?
So yeah, I would really encourage folks to use the stream for a couple reasons. So remember that the material that you're going to receive is going to drop on Wednesday morning. Hopefully you'll have a chance to look at least the video and some of the resources. And honestly, we want you to generate some questions. It would be ideal if you use the questions and throw those up in this stream, so that when we come back on Tuesday to kind of recap and hit the highlights and move into breakout discussion groups, that we've got some questions that really you all have.
Right.
So I really encourage you to use this stream function as a means of kind of creating the helping create the content for the next Tuesday night.
For the discussion. Yeah.
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 Right. Because you'll have looked at the videos, and you've gotten kind of what I would say the didactic element. But one of the things that you will experience particularly you as new beekeepers, you will experience this from those of us. All of us have different, like Leslie and myself and some of the others, we all manage bees very differently. And so if you throw a question up here, it gives us the opportunity to share those different perspectives and different experiences in the Tuesday night class, right? So I think that that's a real, I would really encourage you to throw your questions up there. Some of them we may answer right there, but rest assured we will go over them in the Tuesday classroom.
Right. Yep.
And so I think the only other thing to check in over here is on the far left is this
main menu.
Yeah, main Google menu that for classrooms, and you may want to manage your settings, whether you receive email about as you're settling into kind of a routine with this class.
I really encourage people to put their picture up there if they can. It's not hard to do, but it is helpful to remember people's names and faces. Gives us a way to connect again.
I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Do you think we need anything else?
I might have had an internet glitch in there. I think you probably kept on going, but I may not have. So hopefully that didn't happen.
Well, you stayed talking. So
okay, good.
I heard you the whole time.
Okay. Wow. We are super excited about having Bee School. It's just around the corner. We hope that this little tutorial introduces you to Google Classroom. And we just look forward to meeting you and starting to talk about bees.
Hey, Leslie, am I recalling, did you find some good generic Google Classroom YouTube things that were helpful?
I looked and I think this is what they need.
Well,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think we need to do any of them.
Yeah, okay. It's specific for our needs. Okay, great.
Correct. Yeah.
All right. We look forward to seeing you all on January the 18th. Watch for your invite the week before and get involved in the Google Classroom and start chatting away.
See you there.